Well, hello and welcome. It's the first day of fall here in the Northern Hemisphere. It is September 22nd, 2021. And happy spring to those in Australia, New Zealand, and down under. I'm so excited to be here today. You know, we've been at this for a year and a half, and I love that this is the best part of my day. Wednesdays, mornings for me at 9 a.m. in Santa Barbara here. I just love it. So thanks for joining me. My name's Sarah McLean, and I've been teaching meditation since 1993. So that's 28 years. And it never gets old, it never gets boring. And I also know it's really, at least for me, a first aid kit. It's something I need in my first aid kit, especially when we're facing challenges, whether they're global or personal or environmental. And I think we can check all those boxes here during this particular time. So, you know, yesterday was the International Day of Peace. It was also a full moon. And then today is the first day of fall. And there's a lot of letting go, a lot of hope, and letting go of the past. And I often think about letting go as something we don't actually do, but actually is done. For instance, an oak tree, as the leaves start to wither, they drop off by themselves. The tree doesn't have to say, oh, I'm going to let this go and I'm going to let this go. They just fall by themselves off the tree. And so I believe that when it's our time to let things go, they just go. And we just have to set the environment up right so that we can hold on to what's important, and what isn't serving us can be let go just in time to let us rest and then rejuvenate as the seasons do. So let's see. I thought what we could do today is do a mantra practice. I know some of you have been doing mantra practices with me before, but this is what, when I was sitting down to guide us into a completely different practice, this is what I heard to do, is this practice I did when I lived in India. And it's with a guru. Her name is Mata Amritanandamayi. Some people know her as Amma, the hugging saint. And I lived with her just for 6 months. So she's been a teacher of mine for many years. And I got a chance to live with her and practice every single day, whether it was chanting or meditation or visualization or devotion. I got to do that every day. Yoga practice too, asana. And she taught us this meditation that helps to alleviate the suffering in the world, wherever you imagine it may be. And so I'm going to guide us into a mantra practice and then follow it with the visualization practice. Now, some of you have heard me talk a little bit about the 3 ingredients to meditation. The 3 are really your willingness to do it, your gentle, non-judgmental attention, and something you put your attention on. Oftentimes that something is either something you see, feel, or hear. It's either visual, kinesthetic, or auditory, right? And what we tend to do as meditators is move toward the more subtle aspects of these sensory experiences. And what do I mean by that? When you look out your window or look around your room, you'll see things. Your visual cortex, it just meets that and your brain processes it and you see it there or here. And then when we're meditating, we can look out there or we can imagine something in our mind's eye. So that's the more subtle sense of sight, is in the mind's eye. And some of us can imagine things on demand and others cannot. And that's an actual skill set that some of us are not born with. Called aphantasia, for anyone who wants to know, and it's not on a quiz. So we can see something out there or in our mind's eye. We can feel something, we can walk, we can touch, we can take a shower, we can feel the world on the body and in our experience. But also as we sit right here, you can maybe tune in to the subtle experience of your interior, whether you feel the breath moving the body, or whether you feel your feet on the ground or your hands in your lap. You're not actually making an effort to touch anything or feel something or get involved on that level, but it exists in the subtle realm of sensation, the breath, the air on your skin, the space around you, you can even subtly sense, or the space inside you. And then sometimes people tune into that subtle sense of emotions, which are called feelings, whether they're cultivating a particular feeling like peace on earth, like we want to do later, or whether it's compassion or contentment. And then there's the subtle sense of sound. Now, in the ashram, as I was talking to you about, we chanted a lot. So that's the more gross level of sound. We could listen to people singing, we could chant, we heard bells, there were all kinds of horns they would blow. So that's listening to the world out there. But in meditation, you can also tune into the subtler sense of sound and listen to either affirmations or mantras or prayers. So you're not saying them, you're thinking them. And that's the subtle sense of sound, as most of us hear our thoughts. So today we're going to be using the subtle sense of sound in the form of a mantra, and we're going to be using the subtle sense of sight in the form of a visualization. So I'm glad you're here. I know people are still joining us. And for those of you watching this on recording, there are 50 of us right now that you're meditating with. So if you'd like to join us live, you can also go to my website and click on the link to join us, because it's free and live and every Wednesday. So let's talk about the 5 essentials. I know most of you know them, and maybe you could even recite them. You want to put them in the chat. First is, it's okay if you get distracted. Second, be really nice to yourself. Third, don't expect anything to happen other than what's going to happen. Just let your experience be your experience. Don't try to impose your ideas of what's a good meditation on this practice. Let it be what it is. Fourth, don't try too hard. Don't try to have a certain experience. Don't try to levitate or feel peaceful when you might not feel that way. So instead, feel what you're feeling, have the experience you're having, be kind to yourself all the way, and recognize it's the nature of the mind to travel into the past or the future, and your job is to bring it home to this moment. And lastly, we're going to stick with the entire experience. We meditate usually for about 20 minutes. And so let's get comfortable. I'm actually going to just take a moment and turn on a little fan in here, since it's pretty warm here in Santa Barbara. And I invite you to get comfortable sitting wherever you are, making sure you feel supported. And you can put your hands in your lap, face up or face down. You can close your eyes if you like, or you can gaze softly towards the floor with your eyes somewhat open. I'll be keeping track of the time. So let's start right now by tuning into why you are here. What do you hope that this meditation or your meditation practice in general will offer you? Let your attention rest on that desire, that intention, that word or phrase. And now bring your attention to your breath. Let's take some long, slow, deep breaths through the nose at your own pace, breathing in slowly and fully, and breathing out slowly and fully. Maybe when you breathe out, you let your belly expand, or when you breathe in, let your belly expand. And as you breathe out, let your navel contract to your spine. Doing this at your own pace, just to send a signal to your body and your vagus nerve that it's okay to relax right now. Right now. And then let your breath return to its natural rhythm and depth. And throughout this practice, you'll be breathing naturally. There's no need to control or regulate your breathing, as it may slow down or speed up, become shallow or deep. And as you sit here, begin to welcome everything, the sounds in the environment, whether they're far or near. The sensations in the body. Notice if you can welcome and receive everything without judgment. Notice what emotions are here right now, if any. And tune into the body and see if you can make it just a little more comfortable where you're seated. Lowering your shoulders or softening your face. Letting go of any tension on the inside. And simply be here now. So we're going to start a silent mantra. On the inhale, the mantra is Ma, spelled M-A, Ma. On the exhale, the mantra is Om, O-M. Ma on the inhale and Om on the exhale. You might think of it as pure love on the inhale, expanding light on the exhale. Ma on the inhale and Om on the exhale. As you silently repeat the mantra to yourself, let it be gentle. It's almost like you're listening to an internal chant. Whenever you notice your attention drifting away from the mantra to a thought or a noise or an emotion or whatever, simply bring your attention back and begin the mantra again with kindness, gentleness. This is the training of bringing your attention right here, right now. Letting everything be as it is as you continue to repeat the mantra, Ma, Om. We're going to meditate like this for a few minutes and I'll keep track of the time. And as you continue to repeat the mantra silently, you can bring your attention to your heart space. Perhaps even imagine breathing these words into the heart. Pure love, expanding light. Ah, Om. And keeping your eyes closed, you can stop repeating the mantra and continue with the heart-centered breath. We're going to be moving into a compassion practice. You might start by saying the prayer affirmation, may all beings everywhere be peaceful and free from suffering. May all beings everywhere be peaceful and free from suffering. And as you have this sentiment or this affirmation or prayer, bring into your mind's eye the earth and imagine that there are white flower petals of peace falling on top of your head, on top of the earth, on top of everyone, everywhere. As you continue the prayer of may all beings everywhere be peaceful and free from suffering. Imagine these flower petals bringing peace, even momentarily, to people who are suffering from starvation or sickness, poverty, imprisonment, whatever it may be, all beings everywhere. Letting your imagination wander all around the earth, bringing those flower petals of peace. Imagine them falling on the oceans, and the rivers, and the deserts, the cities, the mountains, the forests. Touching people and beings everywhere with hope, peace, freedom. Let your imagination wander. Let the prayer for peace follow it. May all beings everywhere be peaceful and free from suffering. Be sure to include people and animals around you in your neighborhood, in your city or your state, province. And now imagine these flower petals of peace falling on your head. May I be peaceful and free from suffering. Tune in to the feeling of peace. Notice if you have it, even if it's just in your hands or your face. Find peace inside you right now. Letting go of the mantra, letting go of the visuals, simply sitting here right now. Welcoming everything and resisting nothing. Dwelling in the experience of being peace now. So keeping your eyes closed. Continue to sit in the peace. Remembering that what you look for, you will find. If you look for peace, you will find it. It's always important to take your time before coming out of meditation. this in-between state, the integration period. You can say a prayer, return to the intention that you started this meditation with, or simply deepen your breath and stretch into the space around you. Opening your eyes slowly when you feel like you'd like to do that, but there's no rush. No rush. I'm reminded of what they used to say at my mother's church, may peace be with you. That's my wish for you and for myself. May peace be with me. May you have a peaceful experience today. I want to know how you're doing. Feel free to put it in the chat. I am going to stop recording. Thanks for listening.